Welcome back, guys. It's me, Beans. Welcome back to Spill the Beans. I know it has been a good long minute since I posted a video, right? I kind of got a little busy with my internship. Things got a little hectic. Things got a little crazy. But I'm back. And I really am hoping to start posting more. I plan for my next video to be about how to make moon water, what to do with moon water, all the fun little jazz in regards to that. You know, how to spice it down, how to undress it up. So, good things everywhere. Welcome back to Spill the Beans podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. Let's get into it. Today's video, though, is going to be about Aloe Vera. This is my aloe vera plant. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's a little floppy. Also, you know, she doesn't know how to stand up straight. That's okay, because I'm not straight either. But she's big, right? She almost died on me once, and here she is, standing strong, standing beautiful, living her best life. And that's what I love about her, honestly. So, that is what today's video is about. If you ever want to know, just because it's helpful to know like the scientific name, the Latin name, the botanical name of something, the botanical name of Aloe barbadensis Miller, right? Sometimes it helps to know, just so that way you don't get a specific type of plant confused with another type of plant that's very similar, right? Sometimes they have slightly different species that do slightly different properties. One might be used for something entirely different than what you want to use it for. You know, one might be slightly poisonous. So it helps to know those true names of things just for those reasons, right? It also sometimes helps to know what family it's part of. When you start looking at the plant family things are a part of, you start realizing that certain plant families have certain properties that all these plants have. And this plant family is Asphodelaceae, right? And a lot of plants in this family tend to have protective properties. And that's why one of the biggest things you'll see aloe be used for is protection. You know, it has these spikes on it, very good for protection, very good for guarding, very good for warding. Later in this video, I am going to talk about how to set up a plant ward, because it's very easy, it's very simple. We love it. I'm a fan of it, you know. But that is besides the point. There are also, if you ever look at spell books, old grimoires, sometimes plants, they put plants, common plants, as different names just to kind of keep it sort of secret. So if you want to, put it in your grimoire, Book of Shadows, as a different name that you know it by, here are some common names that this aloe plant goes by. So it can also be called medical plant, burn plant, plant of immortality, and royal plant, right? So if you're ever out there and you see these names and you're like, what is that? What is that in reference to? It's aloe vera, right? Or if you're like, I kind of want to make my grimoire a little bit more secretive, a little bit more, you know, spooky vibes, you could incorporate those into your grimoire and or Book of Shadows. Me personally, I do keep a record of what all of the common names are, just in case I run into it out there, you know, so that way you don't get scammed. Also, sometimes people try and scam you out there, right? They'll be like, oh, there's this new royal plant that you can buy that has this amazing properties. No one's ever heard of it before. It's just aloe. It's just aloe vera, okay? So don't also let yourself get scammed because you don't know the alternative names of plants and or herbs. So that's what I'm here to help you guys with. So some fun facts about aloe is that the word aloe itself means having an uncertain origin. And the word vera means true, which I think is interesting. I think it's funny. Also in Sanskrit, aloe means goddess. And I love that even more. Like, not this plant being referred to as a goddess, because it is, because we love it, period. Besides the point. Also, another little fun fact here is Cleopatra one of the most famous people known for her beauty and looks, incorporated aloe vera into her everyday skincare routine. So, it could be one of the reasons why she's so beautiful, well, was so beautiful, and everyone um, thought so highly of her. So, if you're ever like, how do I make myself more beautiful? Incorporate aloe vera into your skincare routine, which is actually super easy to do, and I'm going to talk about that very, very soon. Hold on, please. Please. But also, another little fun fact here, way back in the BCs, like way, way, way back in the 2000 BCs or whatever, people thought sickness was a sign of demon possession, right? It's back before we knew what we know now. And because we know aloe vera has great, amazing healing properties, they were using aloe vera to heal sickness, but because they thought sickness was demon possession, it was thought to also cure demon possessions. So take that one as you will, do what you will with that little piece of advice. But aloe vera has one of the best healing properties out there, right? If you're out here, if you want to do some healing spells, if you want to physically heal your body, right? If you have any burns, cuts, if your skin's inflamed, it is great for that, right? I have made my own oils and tinctures using aloe vera to heal some skin blemishes, just because I know about its amazing healing properties, So if you're ever looking to do anything healing wise, aloe vera, right? That's my go-to right there, aloe vera, because it's so good with it. And like I said, protection, you could set it up as a protection ward if you really wanted to, and I'm going to go over how to do that shortly. And I love a good protection vibe. I'm a fan of a good protection vibe. And as we all know, beauty is associated with aloe vera. And like, you could do it with glamour magic, you could do like beauty spells, but one of the simplest ways to incorporate beauty in with aloe vera is, there's so many products out there that have aloe vera in it, especially beauty products, right? So you could buy the beauty products that have aloe vera and just use it with intention. As you are using it, just intentionally say, and this is to amplify my beauty, this is so that way other people find me attractive, whatever your specific intention is, incorporate that into your daily routine. They have face wash with aloe vera. They have, I actually don't know all of the beauty products. I use very few beauty products besides face wash. I'm gonna be so serious with you. But I know they have a lot of beauty products. Okay. One of my favorite things to do is, I don't know if you guys know this, aloe vera can also be used for cleansing, right? It can be used to get rid of any negative, harmful, unwanted energies. Like it said, it got rid of demon possession, so it has that cleansing energy about it as well. I like to incorporate that into my life by, I have a body wash that has aloe vera in it, right? And whenever I take a bath, whenever I take a shower, I intentionally like scrub my body and say that I'm getting rid of all of any unwanted energy, negative energy, and that's one of the simplest ways that I incorporate aloe vera into my life, right? You can also very simply use its protection properties too. Get some Germ-X that has aloe vera in it, right? And as you're putting the Germ-X on, be like, I am protected, my whole body is protected from any harmful negative energies. Magic doesn't always have to be some big elaborate thing. You can do simple magic, and I'm always a fan of the simple magic, And there's so much out there that has aloe vera in it that you can easily incorporate that magic into your daily life with little to no real setback, with little to no change in what you're already doing. It's magic is really all about being intentional in what you're already doing, and I feel like aloe vera is a great way to start that, because there's so much that has aloe vera in it. So if you're looking for that, aloe vera is a great way to start. I almost forgot the correspondences of aloe vera. I got so excited about its properties. The correspondences. So we have feminine energy for aloe vera, right? Very feminine. We love a nice soft energy. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work as well or it isn't as potent. It just means it's not. Masculine energy has more actionable energy. It's like boom, right in your face, right? Feminine energy works subtly, right? It works good, just subtly, you know? And that's the type of vibe that this plant has. The planet that it correlates with is Venus and or the moon, which makes sense, right? Especially for Venus, because Venus is that planet of love, it's that planet of beauty. So completely understandable for that. You'll find different sources that argue between Venus and moon. That's why I put both of them there, because it mostly depends on what your personal preference is. I think both of them can really correspond with it. So that one's up to you. Make your choice. The choice is yours. Aloe vera is also used for good luck, to bring in abundance, good luck. Fun little fact here, right? If you ever like open up aloe vera, right, it kind of has like a little pocket, right? So if you ever open it up, you can write something on a piece of paper and shove it in there and basically close it back up and make a spell that way. And with that, there are different types of spells you can do with that, right? You could do it, like I said, to bring in good luck, abundance. You can also do that to trap something and or someone. You know, you can do it as a form of protection. If someone's messing with you, if someone's bothering you, if someone won't leave you alone, write their name down, put it in the aloe vera, boom, they're trapped, they're stuck, no longer able to mess with you, right? And or if you want to trap an idea, right? Let's say you have a negative self-thought pattern, you have a negative behavior that you want to basically keep under wraps, you don't want to really do anymore, you can trap that also, you know? So you can do it as sort of a binding type of ritual if you want it to, which I think is really cool, which I think is really awesome. And I love coming up with interesting ways to do magic, right? So that's something that most people don't think of. Also, another thing that most people don't think of is the aloe vera juices that you see that come out of the aloe vera when you like break it up strongly resemble sexual fluids, you know. So you can use it in that type of magic. You can use it to make someone more lustful, to, you know, bring someone to you in that manner if you really wanted to. Or in the flippity flop, you could use that same thing to put a hex on someone in that way, you know, to like make them impotent, to make them no longer be able to complete the things that they want to complete in bed. So that those are just ideas that can be associated with aloe vera if you wanted to, you know. Sharing the ideas, sharing the thoughts, sharing the knowledge is really what I'm here for. You know, I'm a knowledge sharer, whatever the knowledge may be. You know, what I learn, I would also like for you guys to learn, because I don't want to gatekeep the knowledge. Because, listen, I think if we work together and we grow together and we learn together, then that makes us stronger together. How did I get on this tangent? I don't know. But that's what that is. Anyways, you can also use aloe vera as an offering to your deities, to the dead. It has long been used in the mummification process, so it is great for honoring the dead. It is great to have on your altar as an offering in that way. So if you're ever like, I don't know what to give to any of my deities, I don't know what to give to any of my ancestors, and you have like aloe vera around, and like me, part of my aloe vera plant broke off. It's literally broken off and it's over there. I would literally, and I am going to give that as an offering to my ancestors and spirit guides, and be like, because everyone in my family has an aloe vera plant, so I think it would be a great offering to them in general. But I would give it as an offering to them, to show them my appreciation, to show them my thanks, to let them know that I'm thinking about them and that I'm not just here to take, you know, that I want to give them something in return for everything that they've done for me. So if you're ever like, I have no idea what to give as an offering, this could be a good one. This could be a great one, you know? Putting that one out there. Another way you can use this plant for love is some people like to burn the plant to bring in love during full moons as a sort of ritual. I've never done that one. I'm not interested in doing that one. If anyone tries that one, let me know how that one goes, actually, because I'm intrigued. I kind of want to know how that one works out. But yeah, it can also be used to bring in love. It can be used to bring in lust, as we've discussed, you know, especially since this plant has strong correlations with beauty. You know, you can use that beauty to kind of like bring people in, you know, lure them in like a siren. Anyways, yes. Also, I don't know if you guys have ever tasted aloe vera, right? It's bitter. It's a very bitter taste, and you can use that bitterness also in spell work. You can take that quality, and you can, if someone's being rude to you, if someone's talking about you, if you want someone to break up, you can use that bitterness to work on that. Like, you can use that bitterness to stop the gossip. You can use that bitterness to produce a breakup. You can use that bitterness to hex someone. You know, it just depends. Like, hexes have levels, you know, so it depends on what level of hex you want to do. If it's like a low level hex, you know, and you're just like, I just want them to like be a little bit bitter, you know, I feel like that's a low level hex, honestly. So you could, but if someone's consistently talking about you, you can use that bitterness quality for if someone is talking about you and gossiping about you. Anything that they say about you makes people not want to like them, you know. It makes them think that they're bitter, you know, and view them as bitter, so they don't take their words seriously or to heart or really put any weight into them, you know. So there's a lot that you could do with that bitterness quality. I've definitely honed in on that before, and I like the way that it works, and definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend for those of you out there who are like, does that really work? Didn't even know you could do that. Look, check it out, okay? Check it. Guys, I almost forgot. Why didn't you stop me? Plant ward time. So setting up a plant ward is actually pretty simple. It's actually pretty easy. There are a couple of different ways that you can do it, and there are 2 different types of things that you can have your plant ward do, right? You can either have it repel and push back the energy, or you can have it absorb the energy, right, and hold on to it. I would say one of the benefits of having it absorb the energy is you can pretty easily tell when someone's trying to attack you. You can pretty easily tell when someone's trying to come after you, when you need to re-up a ward, when you need to rework on protections, when you need to do something, because you'll see it physically in the plant, right? If you have it push back the energy, it's a little harder to tell unless the ward fails, is what that is. So that one's up to you. You just have to be specific about what exactly you want that protection ward to do when you do your protection ward. Now, one of the simplest ways to set up a plant protection ward is to just simply tell the plant what you want it to do. Speak to your plant, right? Plants love to be spoken to. I love you. Speak to your plant and be like, okay, I would like you to be a ward. Be like, I would like you to push back certain energies. Be like, you can make it specific to like certain people's energy. You can make it specific to like certain types of energy, right? Jealous energy, hateful energy, whatever you decide, you know, and tell the plant exactly what you want it to do. That's one of the simplest ways you can do it. Just speak to the plant, tell it what its job is, and just simply hold it in your hands and be like, yes, I'm imagining my intention going into this plant, and it is now a plant ward. Super simple, super easy. You could also draw a protection ward, right? Fold it up nice and neat, put it in there, to activate it as a plant ward, right? Also really nice, also super easy. Or if you wanted to, you could, some people like to burn things, right? You could burn said protection sigil and with the ashes put it into the plant, right? um, One of my favorite ways to set up a plant ward is I like to write down, right? I enjoy speaking to my plant, so I like to tell the plant what to do, right? But I also like to write down exactly what I want this protection word to do, so that way I know what I'm doing. It helps me kind of like focus and direct my energy, and that's the reason why I write it down, is to obtain that focus and to be direct, right? And then I like to burn it and put the ashes in there, right? That's how I like to set up my plant wards. If you want to, right, you could also put some crystals by the plant, to help direct and focus that energy as well. That's always good. That's always awesome, you know. And just one of the things about a plant ward is you do have to keep up with the plant, right? You do have to water it, check on it, make sure that the plant's doing okay. It's taking care of the plant like you normally would a plant, but being intentional every time you do take care of the plant. Be like, okay, and this is to help you continue to protect, right? And really, that's one of the best ways to, like, with wards, you do have to redo your wards every so often. You have to basically upkeep them, make sure they're still going strong. And one of the best ways to upkeep a plant ward is every time you water it, right? Put more intention into it. Be like, okay, and I'm pouring water into you, so that way you can have stronger protection, so that way the ward is still going strong, so that that way my defenses are strong, in that way. And that's one of the easiest ways to upkeep a plant ward. You don't have to sit here and do something super elaborate every single time if you don't want to. But that's just me. That's just me and my personal opinion. I'm a fan of the simple magics. Like I said before, and like I'll say again, I rarely have time to do something big and elaborate, and I rarely have the brain focus capacity to do something big and elaborate. So simple is my best friend. Easy is my best friend. So I will share with you the tips and tricks that I've learned in my practice throughout the years of me doing my practice, so that way I can help you do your practice. But hopefully that helps. Hopefully that makes sense. If anyone has any comments, concerns, questions, I will be more than happy to answer. I will share my knowledge with you. Take my knowledge. Take it. That's basically all of the magical properties that I have for aloe vera, right? I did talk a little bit about the medical properties. Good for healing, good for any kind of burns, skin irritations. It can be good for eczema. It helps boost the immune system, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antiseptic. It just has such great qualities. But something that should be kept in mind is that if you are using aloe vera orally, it can cause stomach cramps and or diarrhea. So you just have to be careful. Like anything that you input into your body, you always have to know the potential side effects, know if you're allergic, know if this is actually something for you, so keep that in mind. Honestly, just don't willy-nilly ingest anything. Don't ever recommend that. But I hope this video was educational. I hope you learned something from it. Leave a comment, like it up, follow, if you want to. You'll see more of me out there on the streets, maybe not in the streets per se, maybe perhaps walking along the sidewalk as one does. I'm a sidewalk walker. I'm not in the streets, perusing. But I digress. It do be what it do be. Thanks for joining. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye, guys.